Hello, my beautiful people. How are you this Sunday afternoon, late evening? But I just kind of want to pop on a little bit because, first of all, I want to say hi. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July weekend and it went really good. Maybe you got to hang out at a lake or with your friends and family for a really great barbecue. But if it was just chill, it was solo, you just kind of really didn't want to be around a lot of people, hey, whatever it was, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you was intentional about resting, hanging out, whatever it was that you was present and you had a great time. Okay, so no one can do that like you. Okay, so hey, I just really wanted to pop on because there is something that has just kind of a lot of life has been happening as it always does, okay? But that's absolutely okay. But I just really wanted to pop on and just talk about expectations. Guys, like, that's a really big word, okay? And the more we start to talk about and really focus on healthcare or mental health, that's it, mental health. We have to know that expectations of others on us play a huge role in how we see ourselves, the amount of stress we put on ourselves so that we can produce and those expectations for others. So I really want to just kind of jump into, I almost feel like I put on too much lip gloss. I just don't want my lips to be ashy while I'm talking to y'all this evening. And also too, I'm doing something crazy, like drinking a cup of coffee. I just felt like a cup of coffee. I didn't feel like decaf. I just felt like a cup of coffee. My husband like, baby, you're drinking, you making coffee? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pay for it. It's okay. I've already made my mind up. If I'm up a little longer, then guess what? I just read a book or I just journal or I do something, but it's gonna absolutely be okay. Okay, this is not the norm. This is just something I wanted to do. But I want to talk about expectations, okay, and the role that it plays in our day-to-day lives. Okay, so I want to, and I wrote it all down so that I can kind of stay on task and all that good stuff. But really, just hang in here with me, and we're gonna get through this. But listen, it's time to reevaluate others' expectations of us and also our expectations of ourselves. It may be a time to go back to the drawing board and refigure all of this out, okay? So here we go. So are others' expectations of you putting you in a constant state of stress, anxiety, fear of not meeting those expectations, and or burnout or exhaustion? Like, seriously. Okay, so well, I'm gonna pop in a few examples. I remember when my girls, and they all adults, okay, so my baby is 21, getting ready to be 22, up to my 31-year-old, okay? So when my babies were younger, when my young ladies were younger, I was part of like mommy groups and things of that nature, and but I tried to keep that circle small because I know that the bigger your circle is, the more people to have expectations of you. So that was my way of controlling expectations, okay? So I know a lot of people got like lots of friends, but with those friends come expectations. Okay, so I knew that I couldn't fulfill I couldn't manage a lot of relationships, friendships, okay? It was just like small mommy group here, small mommy group there, that was it. First of all, because my children have friends. So as they're growing up and beginning their social life and all of those kinds of things, and then now my husband and I are now part of their friends' mom and dad's being friends with them or just getting to know them so that we can know them enough so when they had play dates or sleepovers that we felt comfortable. So we already knew we was gonna have like quite a few people, but with that is expectations. There are birthday parties, there are anniversaries, there I mean, like the list goes on and on. You're in a constant state of like having really a gift closet, okay? Because you have to be able to pull out a toy or in a card, collected cards. Whenever I saw a sale on cards, I would get them because I knew that we would have, and gift bags. Okay, so those were the three things: a gift closet, gift bags, and and gifts. Okay, so that you would be able to have those on hand for when those invites happen. That you just won't be like out trying to run around with the family and grab all of these things. So we're talking about expectations. Okay. So I also said, okay, at some point I'm like, okay, so I had told my girls, you guys can really only have 3 friends. Because the more friends they had, the more we were expected to show up. That's with not snacks, that's with awards. It's like it was never in it. Oh, the graduations, oh my goodness, soccer, not soccer but track, and it was just like oh yeah, that's another one. Whatever sport they played in, that's a whole other group of people, and they saying, can you bring this, can you bring Gatorade, can you bring fruits, and then you have to, because it was, like track and stuff like that and volleyball. So we cut, first of all, we washed it all up, chopped it all up, and sliced it all up and put them in zippy bags and then put it in the cooler so it can be cool. So that was a lot, you know what I'm saying? So, and then if you're a child, we had a daughter that was in band, and she played the viola, and she was in orchestra, she played the viola. So it's a lot, it was a lot. So I'm just saying that sometimes the more things that we're adding to our plate and creates though other people having expectations of us. We just need to reevaluate what that is to bring down our stress levels for our mental health. Okay, so we say, and I know for our girls, we used to, for every no there was a yes. Okay, so we lived our lives that way. Oh, we may not be able to do that, we may not be able to go to a house party of people we don't know, but listen, we can go over here, we can go to Six Flags, we can go to Hawaiian Falls, we can do this, we could go to like a amusement park, we can go to aquarium or something like that. But so we just didn't want to say no and just let that be it, but we also created an alternative. Okay, so that was super important. Also too, you have to learn how to not allow those expectations to get away from you, because before you know it, life would be handling you instead of you handling life. Okay, so I just want to talk about, there must be a balancing of the scales. Okay, so how can that happen? Okay, because stress can come along with all of these added expectations. Is stress, it's disappointment, it's oh my goodness, but these are some of the things that can happen to us if we don't get a handle on those expectations. One, health issues, headaches, migraines, those are inducers. Okay, elevated blood pressure. Okay, elevated cortisol. Okay, we start to carry belly fat. You know what I'm saying? Our stomachs are looking blue. Oh, digestive issues. Oh my goodness. Let's not even talk about that. So we just have to take a moment when things are getting out of control. We have to be able to say no, because guess what? You also have, and let's talk about all the relationships where people expect something of us. Okay, so first of all, when you when you got the apartment, when you got the car, when you got if you became purchased anything, now you have to pay for that. So that's an expectation. They expect you to pay that bill on time. Your electricity, your gas, your lights. I mean, like first of all, your phone, right? So that's an expectation. Those are expectations. Every month, that is someone expecting you to pay for something, a service or something. Then you got your job. Okay, so you hired, you working for someone. Even if you're not working for someone, you working for yourself, you still have expectations of you. There are personal goals that you need to meet. There are all kinds of things that's taking place. Then the coworkers, right? Or your employees. Okay. They expecting something from you. They work from you. They expect a check. They also expect that where they come to work, that is healthy for them. Okay, so all of these expectations, we need to be able to know how to manage them. Managing others' expectations of us and our expectations of others. We need to make sure that they are realistic and that they are absolutely fair. Okay. Of course, you're going to have some people that once you start to sit down, evaluate those expectations with yourself, starting with you, that conversation has to start with you. Then after that, then you start to have the conversation where you may feel that you're becoming overwhelmed with certain expectations that other people put in on you. Like at work, you may be that someone keep tasking you things. Other people are going on vacation. Other people may be finding other employment. Something they may have moved away and they needed to, and so that job position need to be filled. But until they fill it, they asking you if you can carry on the workload. Okay, you need to be able to actually be able to verbalize what you can do and what you can't do. Yes, I can take on some of those tasks, but I can't take on all of those tasks. Okay, so I don't mind splitting the task with someone. I'll be glad to do that. Okay, I don't mind sitting in until that seat is filled. Okay, but we really need to be seeing you actively working on filling that seat, because I don't need that to become my permanent job. Because guess what? If I'm here later, and then if I have a child or I have another engagement right after work, I need to be able to meet that engagement or of me. So let's just, and guess what? When you're inundated with so many expectations, you start to have a burnout and you start to shut down. You shut down on everyone, on absolutely everyone. And then now it's unfair to those other people or those other obligations that you had from someone expecting, or you made a promise to them, that you would fulfill something, and now you're dropping a ball. So it's like you putting all your eggs in the basket and then they're all falling out. Okay, so we just want to make sure that we are addressing unfair expectations and recognizing what those expectations are. Are they unrealistic, or are they even fair at all? Okay, you want to set boundaries. It's absolutely imperative that you set boundaries. Okay, typically if you can set those boundaries up front, that would be amazing. Okay, then no one would actually have nothing else to compare it to, because they've always done it this way, or you've always done it this way, or you've always wanted to be treated this way, or whatever. Because if you say these things up front, oh my God, let's talk about relationships. When you guys are meeting each other, I mean, some people would get married and then they found out that their spouse maybe really never liked this, or they started saying all these things. They said, well, I've always been that way. And the person was like, well, you never expressed that to me. And now we've been doing it all along. Well, that's because they didn't know how to have the conversation. Okay, they didn't know how to have the conversation, that they really don't like when you expect them to do X, Y, and Z, but they just did it because they was just compromising. And sometimes when we compromising, what all are we compromising? We could be compromising our health. You can be compromising your peace. You can be compromising your mental, so which is still a part of your health. Okay, so we just want to make sure that in having relationships that we are adequately being able to communicate what expectations that are reasonable and those that are unreasonable. Let's continue this conversation. I don't want to keep you here all night, but this right here is very expansive, and I feel like that we could talk about it again. I'm gonna come back on maybe tomorrow, but I can't promise, because I'm telling you, life has been like crazy. But that is my heart, to really want to come back and continue to have all kinds of conversations with you. So today we were talking about what others' expectations of us. Okay, so we definitely want to make sure that we're communicating and setting boundaries. Tomorrow I'll come back with more solutions to being over having too many expectations of you. Okay, once again, you guys have a wonderful night. I will meet up with y'all again tomorrow, but let's keep the conversation going. If you have any suggestions or you want to add to this conversation, put it down in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going. Chat with you later. Thanks for coming on to Love Me or Love Me Not. Bye.